Hi friends, after understanding about functions from real life angle as well as programming angle, you need to know the classification of functions. All functions are not alike. Depending on their functionality means taking input and giving output. Basis, we can classify functions into four groups. First I explain from a real life angle, thereafter from programming angle I explain, and with that you can have a clear understanding over functions. One thing I am telling you, in this context, I cannot give the detailed explanation. It takes 1 or 2 hours time. If you want to learn about functions fully, at least 2 hours you have to spend on that. If you are really interested to learn and master functions, you write to me and I provide you all lectures and relevant programs to you either in C or in Python. Then you can master it. One thing I'm telling you, until unless you master our functions, you never evolve as a programmer. If you are really good at functions, then your 50% of learning programming is over. 50% of your thing is over. That's why don't be lenient. Don't be lazy at all. Don't be over smart also. If you are really interested, you write to me. I'll share the corresponding videos with you. Now, classification of functions from real life angle, I explain. The first one, cleaner. Already told you, cleaner is one type of specialist in real life, and as far as cleaner is concerned, we don't give anything, and he does not return anything. That means it just comes, cleans, and go. So here, what we can call no inputs. Whatever we give, let's call them as inputs, and no output. This is the first category. A function which takes no data and return nothing. That is the first category. Second one, police. Police is also a specialist in providing security, etc. and all that. As far as police concerned, whenever you have some security problem or threat, you call him, just you call him. You don't provide anything. What he wants and all that, he gets. So, as far as police is concerned, no inputs. You are not giving anything, and he returns something. What he returns? He provides you security. Here, no inputs, but output is there. That giving output is called return technically. So, he returns something. That is the second category. In both cases, what you have to understand? No input. In this case, no output, but here output is there. Output means by way of services, by way of security. Now, let's come to third one. Painter. Just you compare cleaner and painter. Here, in case of painter, we give something. That means inputs. You have to give paint, brush, etc. and all that. So, inputs are there, but no output. What painter does? Whatever paint you give, he applies to the walls or windows and just go. He does not return anything. Third one. And the fourth one, tailor. As far as tailor is concerned, you give something. What you give? What you give? You give cloth. And what he returns? He returns dress. You give cloth, he returns dress. So, real life specialist can be classified into four groups. Here in two categories, we are giving no inputs, and in this case, no output. In this case, output is there. As far as the other two are concerned, we give input, and no output is there, and we give input, and output is also there. In many functions are like this. Suppose you go to a flour mill operator, you give grain, in turn you get flour. So from real life, first in real life angle you understand. Thereafter, the same features you can attribute to programs also. That example also I give you in this video only. By that, you can have 100% understanding over that. For implementation that, you have to do much. At least I am telling you, 2 hours year mark, then you master functions, no doubt about that. Such type of videos I am going to provide. If I give you those videos now, you are distracted from this feel good series, and it is our objective is vitiated. So here understand how we divide functions. If it is a function with no arguments and no return value. Functions which takes no argument, it returns no output value. Here, function takes no data and return something. And here, a function takes inputs, it takes data and returns nothing. Here, function takes something and return something, some other thing. Okay, the 4 categories. Now, through programming examples, we can understand them. This is the manner. Every time I'm telling you, for every programming concept, I can provide you programming examples, real life examples. Through real life examples, because these are known to you. For that, no technology is required. If you have common sense, that is enough. By that, you can achieve mastery over that. And one more thing I am telling you, this type of model you cannot find in the programming studies anywhere. I make a challenge. This is my brainchild that I am providing to you. Take it as a privilege. Because of that, in every interview you will pass. Because the interviewer never get this type of explanation from a candidate that you are getting. And the examinations also, technically, if you have to present few lines only, you can present. But if you have to present like this, you can lot of stuff, relevant stuff. This is not husk. That point you have to understand and proceed. Now, I demonstrate the classification of functions through real life example. Don't bother about the language. Just understand this concept as an outline. This is enough to understand this. But one thing, if you have to get perfection over functions and all that, this is not enough. For that purpose, at least 2 hours you have to spend. Then only you can achieve perfection over that. Okay, as I told you again, I am repeating, until unless you achieve command over functions, you never evolve as a programmer. Because functions only are performing operations in any language. So that point you have to understand and proceed. So first type of function, we don't pass any arguments and it does not return any value. If we have to pass any argument, through this we have to pass. So this is empty. And if we have to return anything and all that, here one return statement should be there. Return, one statement we have to write. We are not writing that. That's why we are not returning anything. So function does not return anything. That's why its type is void. Already in the Java program I explained. Main does not return anything. That's why we declared it as a void type. Whatever function does not return anything, you must declare it as a void. You cannot keep quiet. If you don't write anything also, it leads to error. Okay, then this is the first model. Here we are calling the function. Just we are calling the function. Now you call the painter, then only painter will come. You call the cleaner, then only cleaner will come. You call the mechanic can only come. That's why here this is the function. Then you have to call, but you are not giving anything. That's why here this is empty, this is empty. Okay, this is the first category. Second category, you are not giving anything, but it returns something. It is this model. You see that, like police, already I told you. You are not passing anything. That's why it is empty. Within the body, some operations are done. What is that? A value is 5, B value is 3. We are finding sum and we are returning it. We are returning which type we are returning. This is integer, this is integer. Ultimately, what result will come? The result type is also int. That's why return type we are writing. So, whenever you are returning anything, its a type should be written. Type only should be written. That's why int I have written. Which type of function it is? A function which takes no argument but return a value. And one more point you have to understand, any function can return only one value. It may take n number of values, but it can return, if it returns, it can return only one value. That means a function can return either 0 or one value. That point you have to understand. Thereafter, third one. Here you see a function takes arguments but return nothing. It does not return anything. Here you see we are passing a, b, where they are being received. Here through call we are passing 5 you pass and 4 you pass. They go here. 5 is copied in A and 4 is copied in this. This is invisible assignment. You cannot see. Then in turn, those are provided here. In turn, the sum is calculated, that is 8, and it is printed, not returned. Just sum is printed here. Okay. So what type of function? Third category, function which takes arguments but return nothing, return no value, no return statement is there, return no value, the function call. Finally, the fourth category, a function takes arguments but return a value and return a value. Here you see same thing. Here it is you are giving arguments through function call. Where they go? In turn, sum is calculated within the body and return which type of value it is returning. Integer value it is returning. That's why you are writing integer value. So here finally I am telling you once again, functions are classified into 4 categories. The first one, function which takes no arguments and no return value. Second one, function which takes no arguments but return a value. Third one, functions which takes argument but return no value. Fourth one, function which takes arguments but return a single value. This is a classification in this manner from real life as well as in programming angle you can learn.